Howdy folks, my name is Kade from Grandview, Texas, and today I'm going to tell you about this John Deere 9770 STS combine. Now, where's the name combine come from? In the old days, small grains such as wheat were cut down, and those plants were bundled into what they called shocks, and those shocks were hauled away from the field to a thrasher. George Washington had a barn that was a thrasher. They would take the shocks and spread the wheat out on the top floor. Then they would walk their horses round and round on top of the wheat, and the grain and chaff would fall through the cracks that were in the floor, and the straw would stay on the second floor. Then they would scoop up the wheat on a windy day, and they would toss the wheat up when the chaff blew through the wind and the wheat fell through the ground. Later, mechanical thrashers were created to separate the grain from the straw and the chaff, but they were still stationary and didn't move through the field. Combines were designed to combine all of the steps of reaping, threshing, and cleaning into one machine. Combines are used to harvest wheat, oats, rye, barley, corn, sorghum, soybeans, and sunflowers, and many other crops. They made it possible for a smaller number of people to produce food for many people. Now, how does the combine work? You have to start with a header. Here we have a John Deere 635F flexible cutting platform. We use this piece of machinery for cutting oats, sorghum, and soybeans and wheat. For corn, we use a header that's only used for corn. Once the crop is harvested, it is carried into the feeder house, which is over here, which carries into the combine. Next, the crop goes through the feed accelerator to feed the rotor, which is come over here. The rotor, it feeds to the front of the rotor. The bullet rotor is a long cylinder that turns inside the machine. On the front of the rotor are elements that you cannot see because of the concaves, but the elements will grind the crop against the concaves, and that causes the grain to separate from the straw and chaff. Next, the crop moves through the single tines, which are bolted onto the rotor, that allow the grain to fall through the separator grates and the straw to go through the discharge beater, which is in the back. And if you come over under here, you can see the discharge beater, which comes through out the back through the chopper. And these are the discards. This is a chaffer, and the sieves are under it. The cleaning fan blows up through the sieves and the chaffer, which has adjustable holes in them to allow the grain to fall through as they shake back and forth. The clean grain is augured to the clean grain elevator, which here, which is augured up into the clean grain tank and is put onto a truck by the unloading auger. And those trucks carry that grain to elevators and flour mills to feed y'all. My name is Kade Davis, and thank you for listening.